Hey guys, Cruisnick's back with more Final Fantasy XIV goodness. When we last left off, we had discovered the pathway to the Aerie. The only problem is we don't know how to get there. But this simple invention of Biggs and Wedges has left us with little room for debate. The only problem is it still has a few flaws. But in the meantime, we do have something else to worry about. Tataru, frickin' gave us news about Raubahn and the Sultana. Well, mostly concerning the Sultana, so we're gonna speak with her right now.
General Raubahn says they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts, and he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation.
Come, Bayan. Pressing though Ishgard's plight may be, our presence here will not serve to hasten the Manacutter's completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of Thanalan and lend what aid we may. Tataru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Estinian. Tell him we have identified a solution to our problem, but that it will take some time to prepare.
As you wish, Master Alfino.
To the Waking Sands, warrior of light. 'Tis past time Uldar was delivered from this darkness. Alright. We shall go into Horizon! Of course, it couldn't be sunny in Uldar. And of course, we don't have a Z coordinate anymore, seeing as how we're still in Rome Reborn territory. Alright. What do we got? Raubahn. Damn.
Thank you for coming.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
Yeah, now if they can only do something about that arm.
Progress in the search for her grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to Dulala's claims, aye. Her Grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Or maybe not.
In an attempt to extricate the Sultana, however. it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady-in-waiting, Marion. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, warrior of light? Will you lend me yours?
Like you even need to fucking ask.
Then I pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friends. For Nanamo, and for Uldar!
Now that's what I want to hear. With Raubahn leading the fucking pack. For a one-armed man, he is freaking badass now.
Our target is Miriam, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting. A woman of Midlander heritage. I am told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents and confirm that Mariel is in hiding there.
Alright, the Silver Bazaar is in frickin' I forget if I am able to, ride to the Silver Bazaar through Chocobo Porter. I'm hoping I can. I did not miss this non-nighttime music. While we're doing that, while we're traveling, I might as well reorganize my inventory. If only there were a shortcut, right? I wonder. And we're here. Now, before we do anything else, I do want to check and see something, because down here is a ferry symbol, and I want to see where the ferry skipper actually takes us. Oh, wait. Oh. I could have taken the Crescent Cove docks to frickin' to here and not wasted time on that. But anyway. Marian?
Hi, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the one closest to the market entrance. Brings you to our lonely. I believe the arrival of your entourage just about doubled our population. Looking for Mariel, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Uldar, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life.
Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear of this. Now, what did the kid say again? It was the one closest to the market entrance. So here's the market entrance. So it's gotta be this one. There she is.
You are Mariel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me.
And badass afoot.
General Alden.
Oh, he's pissed. Yeah, nowhere to hide, bitch.
We will have the truth from you, girl.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Lolorito.
Lolorito, you best talk fast.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega. When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim. 'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Mariel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison. You should know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
God, I hate him.
You conniving little worm. You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve.
But of course, when a new game begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine. Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution. Ah, Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the Empire. Unlike you, General, the poor fellow seems quite unable to forsake the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed.
What a dick!
Alas, Ilberd's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to wearisome tirades, and the zealous brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed, you understand, but he would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended. Which brings us neatly to the present. What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive, and preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
No! Fuck you! Fuck that mask! Fuck your petty little Lalafell potato smile! Oh, I fucking hate you!
The hells we will! Do you honestly expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason!
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or have you forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial? Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of both the word and spirit of the law. If you would, Lord Lolorito?
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find her grace resting comfortably within her private chambers. Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Raubahn Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
Well, that was a fine kettle of fish. By the 12! I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Shall we also make our way to Ul'dah? I should imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. But not before we equip this belt. Alright. To the Chamber of Rule. Man, the Royal Promenade. Seems like only yesterday we were walking this pathway, frickin' running from the brass blades, but now we're back. Flame General Raubahn mentioned you might be coming. Please, this way if you will. At that very table, I watched her fall from her chair, thinking she was poisoned. Look at her. She still breathes.
I was having the longest dream.
It is time to wake up, Your Grace. Another day begins in Thanalan. and the sun blazes bright upon the sands. Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she is none the worse for her slumber.
Thanks the 12.
I believe Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of Uldar into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all. But what our city truly thrives upon is competition. 'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Wait, I have it. The Agrias. Yes, well, it would appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
How close are they to completing this ship? Is it operational?
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle. My lords and lady, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by Teleji Adeleji and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
Shit.
'Tis well that the Sultana has awoken. The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order, but 'twould seem the worst of the confusion has passed. Uldar has taken control of its future, and I must do the same. I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves. Among the recruits, there were those who supported our Order's goals and convictions with all sincerity. 'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come.
I sure hope so.
As for those who sided with the traitor and Ilberd, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single unified grand company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low. I need not tell you how deeply the betrayal stung me. Yet I see now that it was mine own naivety and pride which allowed the Braves to fall prey to corruption. As ever, it is to your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship, and give mine all for the cause. Let us resume the search for our missing comrades, that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more.
Sounds good to me.
The role of Crystal Brave Commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alphino, proud member of the Scions.
I blush to speak thus of mine inner turmoil. But the fact remains, there is no man alive whom I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might never have emerged from beneath the pall of my despair. Glad to be of help. Still no word from Master Garland. I hope this mana cutter of theirs is nearing completion.
I am assured that Her Grace will make a full recovery.
Aye, and Uldar too shall flourish once more. General Raubahn and his colleagues have matters well in hand, I believe. Lady Ugiri, a question if I may. I believe your people have been keeping a close watch on the Crystal Braves. Might you know how things stand at the Rising Stones?
Ah, yes, of course. You'll be pleased to know that the 3rd Unit Braves abandoned Revenant's Toll when they learned of Captain Ilbert's defeat. The only blue uniforms to be seen there now are those worn by soldiers loyal to you, Master Alphino.
To me? I see. I'm grateful to hear that at least some of our members were true to their oaths. Ere we return to Ishgard, I must go to the Rising Stones and thank these stalwarts for their service. It will be my final act as Crystal Brave Commander. Will you join me, Bayan? You were there at the company's inception. 'Tis only fitting that you be present at its end. And I would appreciate the support. Alright, we're... another place we haven't been to in a while. Mordona! Geez, first the Waking Sands, now we're back at the Rising Stones.
Commander, you're alive!
And Bayan too! I knew you'd scrape through. My splendid Crystal Braves, I have wronged you. All of you. My promises of glory and salvation have brought you naught but blood and betrayal. Bah, you'll not hear us complaining. 'Twas a slight messier than expected, aye. But we were still fighting for the freedom of all, just like we swore. Ain't that right, mates? Aye! You humble me. I am truly blessed to have such steadfast comrades. It is with the most profound regret, then, that I must... That's enough of that, Commander. We know what you've a mind to say, and we ain't having none of it. We've talked it over, see, and we all agreed. You can take our uniforms and strip us of our ranks, but we won't be no less of a company.
But the Crystal Braves... The Crystal Braves may be finished, but the ideals upon which the company was founded live on. They bind us to each other, and to you.
Commander, Alfino, our minds are made up, so you may as well get used to it. Let us help the Scions. Let us help you find Minfilia and the others.
My friends, after all that has happened, I don't know what to say. Excuse me. I thought my tears spent. My grandfather used to say that one could measure a man by the constancy of his comrades. Mayhap I am the exception which proves the rule. Nay, do not protest. I know I am not worthy of their loyalty, Bayan. But as Daliak as my witness, I shall do everything in my power to earn it. I must speak of future plans with the remaining Braves. Any information we uncover on the missing Scions will need to be shared with our allies across the realm, specifically Urianger in the Waking Sands, and Tataru in Ishgard. While we are organizing our various channels of communication, I would ask that you call upon Master Garland at the manufactory. I will join you in Ishgard as soon as I am able.
Alright, we start going back to Ishgard. There better be some good news. Bayan, how in the seven hells do you do it? I was just about to send for you. We have but this moment completed the Manacutter's first successful test flight. With a few minor adjustments, she'll be ready to go. While we see to the finishing touches, you might want to pay a visit to Fort Hall Manor. A dragoon by the name of Istinian was looking for you. Yay, my intelligence materia sold! Now I have more gil. You have fulfilled your obligations to the Eldars, then. Mistress Tataru has been keeping me apprised of the situation. Once I learned that these mana cutters of Master Garland's were nearing completion, I saw no reason to tarry in the mists. For the present, Nidhogg seems content to remain in the Eyrie, plotting his revenge. Might not this be an apt moment to unfold our plans to Sir Emmerich? I think we have kept him in the dark long enough. Jesus, I'm just traveling all over Ishgard today. Like, seriously. Can we make it into another quest so I can just change my frickin'... So I can switch over to a different live stream? Seriously. Sir Emmerich has been eager to speak with you. Pray, proceed.
stands ready, Lord Commander.
The moment has come then.
Pray excuse my lateness. I paid a brief visit to the workshop to inquire about the mana cutters. The engineers assure me that they're ready.
The area is now but a short flight away. Yet what a long and winding path we took to reach this point. Were it not for Master Alphinaud's proposal, we never would have attempted to parley with the dragons. Though our negotiations yielded little, our expedition with Lady Isar taught us much.
You took an unimaginable risk. I could scarce believe the tale Estinian told.
Aye. 'Tis true that many of our countrymen would sooner die than join hands with the heretic's mistress. But 'twas through that most unlikely of alliances that we came to speak with Hraesvelgr.
A conversation that went rather poorly, as I recall.
In this instance, the journey was more important than the destination. Had we not slain Nidhogg's consort, Tiaman, and put the Great Worm on his guard, the Dravanians would have arrived at Ishgard's walls long ago.
Aye, that they would. Full grateful am I for every hour of respite your actions have afforded us. Thanks to you, our defenses are much improved. 'Tis but a pity they won't be enough.
Thus you believe an assault upon the area represents the city's best chance of survival. Is that not so, Estinian?
I am under no illusions. Nidhogg's might is legendary. But with his eye in my possession, I can stifle his strength at the source. Victory will be hard won, even so. And I shall be glad indeed to have the Warrior of Light at my side.
You shall have my blade as well. There are more of these mana cutters to be had, yes?
Hell no.
Commander, no.
How can I, a proud knight of Ishgard, stand by and do naught while an outsider risks life and limb for our homeland? I swore an oath to protect this city.
Pray leave the slaying of dragons to dragoons, Sir Knight. Your duty to command the city's defense is no less vital. Should we fail, and Nidhogg slip through our grasp, who then will hold the walls against him? Will you leave Ishgard in the hands of the Holy Sea's zealots?
There are others.
Who but you has the authority and the standing to orchestrate a city-wide defense? I do not, and neither does the Warrior of Light. That is why it is our place to fight, and yours to remain here, Lord Commander. What? You too, Master Alphinaud? By the Fury! You have shown some promise, but this adversary is far beyond your skills.
Wait a minute.
Your candor is appreciated, Sir Dragoon. I shall remain then and cheer you from afar.
Yeah, you will.
Well, my friend, it would seem I have discouraged the last of the volunteers and claimed the task as ours alone. But if any alive can best this worm, 'tis surely we too.
Let's just hope I get some new gear out of this. Anyways, we'll be back in a bit. Oh, wait, no, wait. We gotta finish the quest first. I have pricked Master Alphinaud's pride, I fear. But had I been less forceful, the boy would have insisted on accompanying us to the Eyrie. Do not think me blind to his talent. With a few more campaigns under his belt, I have no doubt that Alphinaud will make a fine field commander. But one does not practice on an adversary such as Nidhogg. We shall be hard-pressed enough without the added worry of carrying a novice. Now, we will be back. Cruisnik, out.